What's going on, guys? This is Sam, and today I want to talk about when new iOS 12 betas are released. It's always a hot topic of contention every year, whether it be iOS 8, 9, 10, 11, or this year, iOS 12. Specifically, when is the second beta coming? When is the third beta coming? Fourth beta, and so on and so forth. And to be completely honest with you, nobody has any clue for sure. Now, there are trends that Apple has followed in the past. There is a general rule of thumb, but sometimes Apple decides not to follow their own general rule of thumb. Sometimes they release betas early quote unquote based on the general rule. Sometimes they release it late. The general rule is that when Apple is going to release beta software, they release new version, new seeds to developers every 2 weeks. So hypothetically, then we would be seeing iOS 12 beta 2 on Monday, June 18th, because beta 1 dropped on Monday, June 4th. But like I said, that's just a general rule. Apple can do like Tuesday, June 19th, or Wednesday, June 20th, or skip that week entirely and go all the way to like Monday, June 25th, and then we would have a gap between June 4th and June 25th. I think that happened with iOS 10. And in fact, there's this amazing website by ThinkyBits that actually keeps track of the days in between or the days on every single iOS beta since I think iOS 4 or 5, and I want to pull that up now. Looking at this now, they actually go all the way back to iPhone OS 2.0 before iOS was even called iOS. But let's look at some trends here. So how many days was iOS 4.0 in beta 1? It was in beta 1 for 12 days. That's actually under 2 weeks. If we go to iOS 5, beta 1 was 18 days, so over 2 weeks. For iOS 6 beta 1, 15 days, just over 2 weeks by 1 day. If we go to iOS 7, exactly 14 days. It came out 2 Mondays after, or on the second Monday after WWDC 2013. For iOS 8, we can see 15 days again. iOS 9, 15 days. iOS 10 decided to wait a really long time. They waited 3 weeks and 1 day to release the second beta version of iOS 10. And for iOS 11 beta 1, we're seeing 16 days. So Apple switched it up once again. They didn't go 3 weeks. They didn't go exactly 2 weeks. They didn't go 2 weeks and 1 day. They went 2 weeks and 2 days after the first iOS 11 beta was released. What I'm trying to show you here is that every year is a little bit different. Sometimes Apple goes 2 weeks. Sometimes they go 3 weeks. Every once in a while, I don't ever think they've done this for a major beta release, but I know for the smaller beta versions of iOS, they would go one every single week sometimes. It just totally depends. So based off of all this knowledge, based off of what we know Apple has done in the past and that they may continue to do in the future, we could be seeing iOS 12 beta 2 on either Monday, June 18th, Tuesday, June 19th, or Wednesday, June 20th. Those are the 3 most likely release days based off of what Apple's done in the past. But as you can see, it could go longer. It could go shorter. Maybe they wait 4 weeks for the first time. We don't know for sure. And if we go back to the ThinkyBits iOS version release date history chart, you can see here we go back to the second betas. We're seeing for iPhone OS 3.0, it was in beta for 14 days. For iOS 4.0, 14 days for beta 2. For iOS 5.0, we got 17 days for beta 2. For iOS 6.0, we got 20 days for beta 2, and so on and so forth. The dates just totally change up. But normally, if we go down to more recent releases like iOS 10, that was exactly, or actually under 2 weeks for iOS 10 beta 2. But for iOS 11, once again, nearly 3 weeks for iOS 11 beta 2. Because iOS 12 is so stable, maybe we see betas more frequently, maybe we see them less frequently just because it feels so good already. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers to those questions, but if you're excited for iOS betas, a good rule of thumb is just to remember every 2 weeks you'll probably be seeing a new one, and I assume and I believe that that's the trend that Apple will continue to follow this year, the trend that they set by releasing versions of iOS for nearly 10 years now. So that's all for this video. Most likely new iOS 12 betas will be coming out every 2 weeks this summer as they have in the past. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something new, it does help me out if you drop a like down below. And of course, hit subscribe for more videos on iOS 12 in the future, including those beta update videos whenever new betas for iOS 12 or iOS 13 or 14 in the future drop. If you want to help support the channel, you can head over to shop.iupdateos.com or patreon.com/update. Checking out both or either of those is always appreciated. And for now, I've been Sam. I hope all of you are doing great, and I'll talk to you in my next video.